What's up, folks? My name is Han. Welcome to the Combat Fighting Channel. We're doing a short interview here to promote a fight that's happening in Seattle, Washington, promoted by Legendary Fight Promotions. It's Muay Thai Fight Night 24, and we have Bradon Hecht, right? And
Yep.
you are the co-main event for that event for the fight coming up on February 15th. And the winner of the co-main event is going to get a shot at the heavyweight title. So, how do you feel, buddy?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Feel ready, strong, healthy. So yeah, feel good.
hmm Um, I know that you don't know much about your opponent, I think. You guys aren't friends, right? You guys are like from different places.
No.
Yeah, so um have you done any research at all about your opponent?
Yeah, a little bit. Looked at his Instagram profile. That's about it. Whatever videos were floating around on the internet. I'm sure he's done the same with me.
How you guys got in contact with Legendary Fight Promotions and get into this event?
Well, I've known Brooke, or I've been friends with Brooke on Facebook for I don't know, probably 5 years now.
Mm.
I've had training partners fight on our promotion before, and smokers and fights and stuff like that. So been up there a couple of times. Yeah, so I'm familiar with her in the promotion.
Is this your first time fighting at the promotion?
Yeah.
Okay. So for Muay Thai itself, right? How long you been practicing? I know that I've heard you went to Thailand, you did some fights there, so you're pretty you're like quite far in your career, I believe. But how long have you been doing this?
I've been training for 8 years, fighting for 8 years. I've got 8 fights. I went to Thailand for about a month, trained and fought over there a couple of times. So, yeah,
Mm. So how was it fighting in Thailand, like compared to fighting in
it was
Canada?
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The culture is very different. The way they approach fights is very different. But it was a good experience. Learned a lot and had a lot of fun.
hmm So how far ago was this? Was it like a while ago? Was
Yeah,
it
it was a
recent?
couple years ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So since Thailand, right? Have you done much fights in Canada?
No, I had an MMA fight about a year ago, and that was it.
Okay.
So haven't been too active. Just training, having fun. I've got a business and I've got a family, so that takes up a lot of my time. But I try to stay pretty active and consistent in the gym. And whenever I get the itch to fight, I get the itch and try to get in there.
hmm So you did 8 years ago. It was Muay Thai, right? But you did an
Yeah,
MMA fight recently.
yeah.
So how often do you switch between the two?
I don't. That was just something that I did, you know, on a whim. So yeah, decided I was going to take an MMA fight, and I might possibly do some more in the future. Fighting with the smaller gloves is something that interests me a lot. That's one of the things I like about this fight and Legendary Promotions is that they do that with Muay Thai. So, yeah, that was something that really interested me and drew me to this event.
hmm Yeah, the smaller gloves are starting to become more popular.
Yeah,
Definitely more
definitely.
knockout power in the gloves. Like I've seen the Road to One stuff here in Calgary, and it's like brutal knockouts, pretty much
Yeah,
90% of the
yeah.
time.
It changes the whole striking dynamic when you go from using bigger gloves to smaller gloves. You got to change your defense. Your range changes. Yeah, so it changes quite substantially, and some guys get surprised by that too. So I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's great. I think it provides a lot more action, makes fights a lot funner to watch. So yeah, I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah, so I mean, you're a versatile fighter. Obviously, you do Muay Thai as a choice, like you're saying, but you do have like grappling experience and stuff like that. So as a fighter, right? How would you describe yourself in terms of your strengths?
Striking. I'm definitely a Muay Thai fighter. Striking is definitely my strength. I don't like to grapple too much. I can do it, but if I was going to take an MMA fight again, I'd definitely try to keep it on the feet. So
hmm
that's what I like to do. Striking is my strength. I'll fluctuate a little bit between 230, 240. Well, I'm not, since we don't have an upper limit, I'm not paying attention to my weight too much right now. I'm just trying to be healthy and make sure my cardio is on point and that I'm in shape. Yeah, so I'm not worried too much about my weight right now or his weight. Like I said, there's no upper limit.
hmm
So I'll try to, I feel the best around 230, 235. I've got good cardio at that weight and I've got good power. I'm still fast. So that's probably what I'll walk around at and what I'll come in at.
hmm Yeah, so I had a talk with Alberto, the heavyweight title holder right now. He has 8 wins and 1 loss. as a record. What are you currently at in terms of fights and stuff like that?
I'm at 5-2-1.
5-2-1. Okay, so you guys are pretty even. Um, you're doing the fight in May, right, for the heavyweight title. Do you have any other prospects that you think you're going to do this year?
Nope, that's all I have. I'm not looking past this fight I have coming up.
Cool,
So
man.
it's this fight is all that's on my radar. Obviously, I'd like to fight him for the title in May, but right now I'm not going to look past who I have in front of me. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So I want to ask you also, like, for Muay Thai and striking MMA, right? As a fighter, why do you fight? Is there a specific reason inside, or is it just you enjoy it?
My former coach, Mike Walrath, who passed away several years ago, used to put it like this. Um, and this is kind of how I see it too. I feel the same way. We don't fight out of anger or malice. We fight out of the sheer joy of being alive. So I fight because I like to fight, and it's fun. It's what I want to do.
Hmm. So I want to ask you also, you're a family man. You have more than one kid, two kids, three kids,
I
five,
got one kid.
one
I
kid.
got
All
a
right, cool.
5-year-old daughter. Yeah.
All right, 5-year-old daughter. That's cool, man. That's a really busy time in life. You're saying you had to juggle training and family stuff earlier, right? So,
Yeah.
what's your dad tip to balance that time and not screw things up?
Make sure you make time for them. As much as important as fighting is and training is, your family comes first, at least for me. Yeah, just always make sure you have time and balance everything.
Yeah, and it's always tough too because you said you trained for 8 years, your daughter's 5, so obviously you started training and then you had a daughter, which really interrupts things
Yep.
completely. Like it throws you. I
Well,
have 3 kids, like it throws you completely upside down, right? And you got to work it
yeah,
out. So
yeah.
that's always tricky. Um, do you plan to have more kids?
No,
No,
one and
probably
done. That's it.
one and done. Cool, man.
That's all I can handle. One kid is enough. I can't
Mhm.
handle any more than that.
Yeah, that's cool. So, is there anyone you want to thank or talk about before we end it, kind of thing? Before I forget to
Yeah,
ask
there's a
you?
lot of people I'd like to thank. It's too many to list. But right now, the important people, of course, my family for supporting me. And the time it takes. Fighting is a very selfish thing, and I don't like that aspect about fighting, having to be selfish. But my wife and my daughter, I want to thank them, and Cobb at Tongsai Muay Thai, and all my great training partners, Jimmy Jeanette, who I've been working with closely. He was there at the start of my career, and when he was at the end of his career, so he's always working with me, and I appreciate his help. So yeah, just my training partners and other fighters and my family.
Hmm. So for your training
And my
partner,
opponent, of course, for taking the fight with me. Can be hard with heavyweights finding opponents, so I appreciate Edwin a lot and look forward to seeing him in the ring.
I hear both you guys are dogs, so it's going to be a crazy fight coming up.
I hope so.
For your training partners, right? Are they all heavyweights, or do you mix it in with some lighter weights?
Uh, Occasionally, I train with lighter guys just for that speed aspect and to work with guys who are really technical. But I've got about, I would say, 6 different heavyweights, 7 if you include Big Jimmy, that I train with. So yeah, for my sparring, it's all heavyweights, but I do like to mix it up with a few, like Rob McNamee, guys like that for the technical aspect. Those guys are really good, and I always appreciate their experience that they bring to the table. Just train, be healthy, eat healthy, and get a lot of rest.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah, because I guess you don't have to worry about weight cutting and all that stuff, and you're kind of hoovering at what
Yeah.
you said was what you like. Maybe you might have to gain like 5 more pounds, right? Roughly. You said you're like
Yeah.
230 right now, and you're like 235,
Yeah,
right?
about 235, somewhere in there. I'd have to go weigh myself to be sure, but yeah, I float in the 230s. So yeah, and that's where I'm comfortable. I'm still fast. I feel good, and I've got good cardio at that weight.
Cool, man. So I'm gonna be there in Seattle for some coverage. I would love to do some. I like to do post-fight interviews and pre-fight interviews and warm-ups and all that stuff, and do some highlights. So Brandon Hecht, Hecht. I'm saying it right this time, right? Hecht. I'm not saying C Hecht, right?
Yep,
Hecht like Hector, but Hecht.
you got it right.
All right, cool. I'll get it right this
Yeah.
time. So Brandon Hecht, I'm looking forward to seeing you fight. I'm gonna post this later, uh, maybe
Okay.
unedited because it's pretty good. There's nothing needs to be really changed, and I'm looking forward to meeting you,
All right.
man. All right, bud.
All right.
Thanks for
It'll
your
be nice
time. I
to meet you
appreciate
too.
it. Take care, buddy.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.